Hi. Uh, so in this video, we are going to learn how we can transport a fixed object, a fixed asset from point A to point B. So in Flexsim, we know that a flow item is basically the item or the object that is the only thing that can be transported from one place to another by default. But what happens when we need to transport a fixed asset from one position to another using a transporter? So let's say we have a rack somewhere, which is a fixed resource. That means it's not supposed to be uh, carried or moved by a transporter or by a resource. But in some instances, for maybe for a requirement in manufacturing or logistic purposes, it becomes a necessity that we transport this rack maybe into maybe transport it to a different location or put it inside another object. So let's say we have a transporter and we have a position or an object called QE where we need to carry this object. So by default, using the 3D model, this is something not possible. Okay, so it's a custom logic. So we have to use a process flow for this. So let's say we have a token on the one token. Okay, we have only one token here, and we need a resource. We are going to call this the transporter resource. So it's going to reference to this transporter one, and we want to acquire this resource here. Let's say we acquire this transporter R, and the token dot resource is the one that's holding it here. So now, if I tell the transporter to go to the location of the rack one, okay, so the executor is going to be the resource. Sorry, not the release. It's going to be the resource, and the destination is going to be the rack one. Okay, so this should work normally without any problem. Okay, so it has gone to the location of the rack one, and if we want to load it, let's say they're going to do the resource and the item. Let's say select the rack one. Okay, so now let's see if it loads it or not. We can see it actually has loaded it. And if we see in the flow, sorry, not the flow item bin, uh, in the tree, we can see the transporter has become the mother agent of the rack one. Okay, so now if I want to take it to, let's say, want it to, where is that? Okay, travel to the position of the QE1. Sorry, this is going to be token dot resource, and the destination is going to be the QE1, and we want it to unload there. So if I run it here, uh, I can see the rack is still a child node of the, what can we say? Where is it? Okay, the rack is still a child node of the transporter. So once we click on the reset, we should make the rack a parent node itself. So in the trigger, we are going to have here on reset here, and we are going to write a code that on reset, the current dot up should belong to the model. So up means the parent node. Okay. So now if I click reset, uh, it didn't work. Let me see. Where did I put that code? Okay. So I put that code in the transporter. So that's not the right way. The rack, we need to put the code in the rack. Okay, so on reset, current dot up should be the model. Apply. Okay. Click on. Good. Let's go back to the model. Click on the reset, and we can see the rack has become a parent node itself. So that means it's not a child of the transporter now. So now if I click on the rack, reset and run, I can see the transporter is picking it up and the transporter is taking it to the QE1. Now what if I want to unload it? So let's say I click on the unload and it's going to be the resource and token dot item. Since we don't have an item, it's going to be the token dot resource dot subnodes one. It's going to be the third bracket. Let's click on the reset and let's see if it works. So it's going to pick it up. It's going to take it to the QE1 and it should drop it. Okay, so that's the problem. They don't recognize it. So the item token dot resource dot subnodes, they don't recognize it. Okay, so in other words, let's say transporter one dot subnodes one. Let's see if this works. So in the model, is the transporter one, and the subnode should have been the item. So let's see when we loaded it, we defined the rack. Okay, so here on the unload, if I do it like this, let's see if this works now or not. They're going to take it and they should drop it. Okay. Okay, so the unloading doesn't work. So what we are going to do, since the unload option is not working directly, we are going to rely on a custom code. And in the custom code, what we are going to do, we are going to get the object AGV and we're going to get this transporter and we want the rack itself also. So object rack equals to, let's say this one is the rack. Okay, so when the AGV is reaching there, I want to have it like rack dot up equals to model. Okay, so there is an error. I'm going to click on OK and I'm going to click on the run. So they're going to pick it up. Okay, so they do not recognize it too. So in the model, is still the child of the transporter. Okay, so since they cannot find the rack because the rack itself is a child of the AGV, so let's have subnodes 1. Okay, so I hope they get it now. I'm going to click on OK, and on the model, let's click on the reset and run again. So they're going to take it to the QE1. Okay, so now it worked. Okay, so instead of making the rack the a parent node, we want it to be the child node of the QE. Okay, let's click on the reset and let's check. Okay, so now if I check the tree, the rack has become a child of the QE1. Okay, so this is how we can transport a fixed asset from one position to another and make it the child object of another physical object. So I hope this video was helpful. So please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends. So have a good day and thank you.